Good morning, everyone. This is May 17th, I believe. Yeah, 17th. May 17th, 2021. It's 11:45 a.m. and already it's 15 degrees Celsius. So it's going to be a beautiful day for a walk. And you can see right now I'm down in the historic properties area, but I'm not going to be staying here. I'm walking up to Barrington Street, and we're going to be doing a walk down Barrington Street and probably a walk back up Water Street. That's my goal for today. So all right, let's get this walk underway. And I've done those historic properties a couple of times, and I don't think we'll bother with that today. We'll just get right on up to Barrington and go down that way. Now, I need to figure this out. I guess I'll just jaywalk because it's the quickest route. I'll just jaywalk it. All right, there we go. Now, we're going to walk around to the very upper end of Barrington when you're downtown. It does go farther, but there's not all that much to see up that way. So, we're going to go to the beginning of downtown on Barrington. And we'll walk all the way down the other end and come back up Water Street. Ought to be a beautiful walk and absolutely gorgeous day today. Never seen a better day, so this is just perfect. Well, we had one day on the weekend there I think we hit 20, so this is really good. Let's see if there's any way out of here. I don't know, maybe. Maybe not. There might not be any way to get from here. We'll see. And maybe there is. Oh, look at this. Sometimes you gotta just take a chance, and there is a way out of here. Okay. So we're going to make our way over to Barrington Street, which isn't that far. Barrington Street's right up where those bus shelters are. And I see we have a set of stairs here. So this will be the very first time I've ever taken those stairs up to the sidewalk. I've always just came up and caught a bus right up there or something, but never walked through this parking lot and took those stairs. So this will be the first time. This goes up to also to the hotel lobby. I guess if you stay at the hotel here, the Halifax Hotel, you park down here in the parking lot, and you go up these stairs to get to the hotel lobby. All right. I don't mind stairs. Stairs are good exercise. And I did a lot of walking yesterday, but I didn't get credit for it because I took a nature walk and I left my phone home. And so that's how that was. I didn't get credit for my walking yesterday. So anyways, I'm on the upper end of Barrington, right across from Scotia Square, which you can see is 1930 Barrington. Okay, right now we're still under lockdown, so naturally the Scotia Square is not open. I doubt if there's a single thing open in there. There might be. But last time the Dollarama stayed open and Tim Hortons stayed open. I was in there one day right after this pandemic lockdown, and Tim Hortons was closed. So I don't know about Dollarama. Okay. So anyways, we are now on Barrington heading south. It's the south end, straight down that way. We might go all the way to the south end possibly. Might as well. Gotta make a nice long video out of this. Just might as well go all the way to the south end. I'm going to jaywalk again because I don't feel like waiting for walking all the way back to the crosswalk. So I'm just going to jaywalk again. There we go. All right, I'm such a rebel sometimes. I feel like my sinuses are plugged up today. I have a lot of trouble with my sinuses. They don't always bother me, but today. They seem like they're a little bit plugged up, but we'll see. Hopefully they don't bother too much. So, let's see, we are now almost to the end of Scotia Square. This is the main doors in there, which we won't be doing that today because there's nothing to see in there. And they frown upon you using the video in there. I got caught once by the security and they didn't say too much, but let me know they really didn't want me doing that. And anyways, we are now at Duke Street. You see Duke Street, and that will take you up to the north end that way, and this will take you to the south end. Okay. This building I'm walking right beside with all the stone, that's the, let me see, that would be the east side of City Hall. I found it easier to get my directions in Toronto than I do here because, I don't know, just the way it's laid out. Toronto, if you're going uphill, you're going north. If you're going downhill, you're going south. And east and west is pretty easy. But I have to stop and think here to get my, well, I know if I'm going this round Barrington, I'm heading south. That's easy. Or if I'm going up towards the north end, like I'm on the North Street or something, I see I'm going, it's kind of northwest, but the north end anyway. But anyway, that way over there would be east. Okay. Enough about that. So I want to show you everything that's on Barrington Street that's worth looking at, which might be quite a tall order, but we got two bank towers right here. We got CIBC, the dark one there, and the all glass one right here is a TD. So that's your two nice bank towers here on Barrington Street. That building is under renovation. I'm not sure what will become of that yet, but that's under renovation. And here's the front of City Hall. If you come in here, it's a beautiful building, well maintained. And so there you are. That's the front of City Hall over there. Not the tall building, but the one with the clock in it, and the clock tower. That's City Hall. And this park and this area right here is known as the Grand Parade. And I got to show you a couple of monuments in here. Since we're covering Barrington Street today, we might as well throw this in. They had, oh, here they are. I think this one is for the, they'll tell us here in a minute now. In memory of constant thought and heart, in heart a constant sorrow. Now we'll see what this says here. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing here. Okay, this one here, this monument here is to law enforcement, people who was killed on the job. There's everything in here from Halifax police to forest rangers, game warden, mounted police. They take up all of Nova Scotia. I see Sydney Police Department is represented here, and so on. So this is what this monument right here is for. We'll go on the other side of it and have a look. It probably looks the same, but let's just start over here. And this is the monument, and we'll walk through it. And there's people's names on this side as well. Dartmouth City Police, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, a fair amount of Royal Canadian Mounted Police is on here. So, okay, that's, and there's one person from Service, Nova Scotia. They're put there as well. I don't know what happened to that person. But anyways, we'll move on. Oh yeah, I gotta show you the other monument. There's a second monument over here. And this is for, I think it's the Korean War, but maybe let me just double check this. I think it's the Korean War. No, it's actually World War I, World War II, and Korea. There we are. World War I, World War II, and Korea. 1914 to 1918, 1939 to 1945, and 1950 to 1953. I wasn't born when the Korean War started, but I was born before it was over. So that's what this monument's for. All right? So, and we have a flagpole right there, and there's a pretty good view right from here. You see City Hall and the clock tower and all that. So let's proceed. We got a lot of things to cover on Barrington Street. This church right here, I've looked at it before, but since I'm doing a special video today of Barrington Street, mostly Barrington, I'm going to walk back up Water Street, but mostly Barrington Street, and we can't leave this out. This is an old church that's been here for a long time. Ever since Canada was a country, pretty much, it has been here. So we can't leave that out. We have to show this. It's St. Paul's Anglican Church, founded in 1749. So before we was actually a country, this church was here. Founded in 1749. Wow, that's a long time. So, and they still use it today. Sunday services is at 10 a.m. Wednesdays and Fridays. Now, that's not accurate now because of the pandemic, but anyways, this is one of the old historic sites in this city, and it's still operating. So, enough about the well looked after church, and we'll continue on down Barrington Street. I see we got a good crop of dandelions right now. That's beautiful. Anything that can bring a little sunshine into our lives is beautiful. Dandelions kind of represent sunshine, I guess. They do to me. Yellow is the color of sunshine. If you notice on my videos now, I have a flashy sign that comes up there that says Halifax Walker, and it's yellow. I could have chosen any color I wanted, but I wanted yellow. I said yellow is like sunshine, and I want to express happiness when people watch my videos. I don't want them to be feeling gloomy and sad. Now let's look at the bright side of things and walk on the good side of life. And so my Halifax Walker is up there in bright yellow, and that's the reason I chose it, because it's like sunshine. It's yellow is warm and bright, friendly, funny. I have a lot of humor too, in case you haven't picked up on that. I like to joke around. So, yellow is my color. Yellow is a good color. Maybe that's why I love the dandelions. My son says they're weeds. They should be all mowed down. I said only after they've turned all gray and fluffy. I'm turning gray too, but that don't mean I need to be mowed down, I hope. All right. We're still in the church grounds. Clear to here. This wrought iron fence comes all the way, because there's the sign right there. Okay. Established in 1750. Imagine that. Well, we'll get across the street here and see what we can... Whoa, you hear that bang? That's the cannon. I like it when I'm downtown and the cannon goes off. If you heard that loud boom, every day in Halifax at 12 o'clock noon, the cannon goes off. And it's right up there on Citadel Hill. Not very far from here. You can walk up the Citadel Hill from Barrington in, it takes you 5 minutes to get up to the hill, and maybe another 5 to actually get up on top of it. Depends on how good you can watch steep hills. But you see the green up there, that's the start of Citadel Hill. And that's where that cannon is, and it gets fired every day, 12 o'clock. So I love it when I'm downtown and I'm doing a video and that cannon goes off. That's amazing. See, I got to hear the cannon going off today. That's really good. That building belongs to the province of Nova Scotia. I would guess your different services that they provide is in there. It's a little different here than some provinces. You go to Service Nova Scotia to get your licenses and all that stuff. Your birth certificate, any of that kind of stuff. Yeah. I heard somebody holler, so I just turned around, but nobody hollering to me, I don't believe. I don't run into too many people on the street that know me because I haven't lived here that long, and I know some people in Halifax, but they're usually not walking around down here. So my chances of running into somebody that I actually know are slim. Well, I promised my brother that I would do him a video of Barrington Street. I had a couple out, but I wanted to give him an up-to-date one. And he was down here a long time ago. It's been many years since he's seen Halifax. I don't know how many it's been, but it's been a very long time since he's seen Halifax. And there's been a lot of changes here since he was here. And I am positive that these towers were not here the last time he saw Halifax. This one just got built not long ago. I think it was here when we came, and it was under construction. I think that was it. And they haven't even rented the stores there yet in the bottom. And this one is still a little bit under construction. It's almost there. It's close to being completed. The outside part is all built, but they're still doing a lot of work to it. So that's one of the new towers as well. And those condominiums down in there, they weren't here when the last time he saw Halifax. There's a good many things that weren't here then. Those two buildings up there weren't here. Three buildings, those two bank towers and that other building, they weren't here. So there's a lot of changes. A lot of changes took place in Barrington Street over the years. And now this pandemic has caused a lot of changes because there used to be busy stores all along here and people walking along shopping and things. And this time of year, the tourists should be coming in on the cruise ships and flooding the downtown with tourists. It'd be really busy. And we don't have that right now, but we're hoping as more and more people get vaccinated and we stick to our protocols that we're going to get ahead of this thing. And life will return to normal once more around the world and in Nova Scotia. So that building right there is actually joined to that one over there. And that looks like they kept the front of it to make it, they want to redo these old buildings in the front and then build the real building in behind. If you stand back here, let me stand on these steps and you'll see. Okay, now you can see that there's another building behind us front, and I believe it's hooked to that one. Okay, so that's what they do. They try to preserve the front, fix it all up, and build in behind it. And it's not hard to do, but it takes quite a bit of work. So this is the Eastern Front Theatre. It's a live theatre, which I have seen live performances, but it's been a long time, and I've never been to anything in Halifax. So one day, this will be all fixed up, and they're doing renos in here right now too. Because of the pandemic, can't do anything, so they're working on what they have to fix it up. And yeah, it says here the Halifax Regional Municipality Site Plan Approval Application. The pre-application for this plan is going to be a 7-story mixed-use development on 1572 Barrington Street, Halifax. So that's pretty cool. A 7-story building right here. But I can guarantee you they'll preserve the front of this, because they always do that with these historic buildings. They build up but preserve the original buildings. So let's see if I left anything out. See, now you can see what's on top of that storefront. It's an old looking building in the front, but it's all built up. It took to that condo building right there. So it's all one thing. All right, so you still got the old front, which they're probably going to be doing some work to that. And there's a Vietnamese store. I had Vietnamese food one day, and I love those noodles and all that. Anybody like bumblebees? There's a big one. I love Asian food. Chinese and Japanese. And I don't like sushi. I'm not much of a person for raw fish, but most Asian food I like. Vietnamese, I really love it, and Chinese. So, we are now on the corner of Barrington and Blower Street. And if you just want to see a few things that are up on Blower Street, look at that car going. Wow. I'll show you some things that are here just on the corner. We'll walk up as far as the corner, okay? There's a mural across the street. I got to turn around and show you that. There's murals all over the city. Everywhere you look, there's murals painted on the walls of stores. So it's not unusual to see that. They're everywhere here. So I'm not going to do a tour of Argyle Street or anything like that. I'm just going to walk up here to the corner and show you this little street that comes off of Barrington Street. And then we'll turn around. There's some more murals up here I want to show you. It's pretty much on Barrington, not quite, but close enough that we can walk up here and show you them. So I did this once before. I walked in here to this parking lot and showed this mural that's on the side of this wall. But I'll do it again for those that haven't seen my other video with that on it. There we go, right there. I'll try to get it all in. Isn't that nice? It don't go all the way up, but it goes that high. All right, so there we are. We're still on Blower Street. We're just barely off of Barrington Street. So we're going to go back down now to Barrington Street, and we're going to walk the rest of it. Well, I don't know about the rest. Maybe we'll go down towards the south end, and let's see. It's I got to make watching my time today because I left the car home and I have to pick up my son from work at 3 o'clock. But I first have to get home to get the car. So that means I got to walk back to the ferry terminal, take the ferry across. And right now with this pandemic, I don't ride the bus, I walk. It takes about a half an hour to walk home. So let's walk in through here. All right, now we'll continue on. I'm just going to stop here and take a good shot right up Barrington Street. We're getting to the south end. We're not quite there yet, but let's go right out in the road here. We'll take a shot right down Barrington Street. How's that? Okay. We'll continue on. Press on. My son won't be happy if I don't get there in time to pick him up. I'm going to try my best. Squeeze this video in and then go back and get him. That sounds like a really good thing to do. Make sure I'm there in time to pick him up. This is brand new. That building's been here a while, and I don't think it would have been here when my brother was down here, but it's been here a while. And it had a little mall inside and a food court, but it kind of got run down over the years, and people stopped going in there. Hardly anybody ever used it anymore. There wasn't any signs hardly out here. Nobody knew there was a food court in there. We just happened to go in there once and saw it, but it was in its dying years, and it wasn't going to be around much longer. So we took a walk through there, and we never went back in there again because it was dead. There was nothing there. There was a bar on the other end of that was still running. And that was basically it. Everything was closed up that was inside that mall. So they're putting a new entranceway on this side, and there's a new one on the other side as well. So I think they're going to try to revamp this place and make it look more presentable, so people will want to go in there and shop and go to the food court. Oh, it's really nice to have that right there, because when tourist season comes back and the cruise ships, there's like I said, there's tons of people walking around downtown, and that was a great place right there. But it got neglected over the years and run down, and people just didn't bother going in there anymore. So here you can see they're still working on this end of it. Yeah, let's go up here where you get a little better view of it, what they're doing here. There you go. There's the construction job that's going on up there. I'm going to zoom it up so you can see what they're doing. And there's a lot of work to be done here yet. I don't think it'll be completed before winter, but maybe. All right. I love the zoom on these things. Great, it's great. All right. So we will go a little bit further, and then we'll do as I said. We'll walk down and go on Water Street. But we'll go a little bit farther towards the south end. This is right here, the boundary of the south end and downtown. Okay, this is Spring Garden Road right here, and that goes west, I guess you could say. Spring Garden Road goes west, because north is up that way. So Spring Garden Road goes west. All right. I told you I have to stop and think about my directions here in Halifax. Well, let's walk across here and see what we can do. We'll go a little ways in the south end. Won't go all the way down there, but we'll go part way. There's a historic burial ground. One day I gotta figure out a way to get in there and look at some of those stones, because there's a lot of history in there. People that did things in history, they're in the history books, what they did, they're buried in there. And I just love to get in there and look at some of those. But it might be open in the summer, it might not be. It's been closed most of the time. I did get a chance to walk in there once, and I was just learning to do videos. And I was having trouble with my gimbal that day, and so I didn't really get anything videoed in there, because, you know, these things take time to learn. I've been at this now since the end of July last year. It'll soon be a year. And I'm quite comfortable with my gimbal now, but I wasn't when I first started doing it. I had a lot of issues. Usually every time out was an adventure, because something would go wrong. But I finally plowed through it and got all that done. Here's a guy that's buried in here. Major General Ross is I think that's the guy. Well, yeah, he's the guy that went up to the White House and lit it on fire and burned the White House down, him and his soldiers that were with him. And then he got shot down. He got gunned down in Baltimore trying to do something there. And they brought back here and buried. So this is, he's buried in here. And this is his, what his gravestone looks like right here. So I would really love to go in there and get a picture of that. That would be wonderful. Memory, oh, there's his name right there at it and all that. Yeah. Wow, that'd be very interesting. Captain James. There's two of them here. Major General Robert Ross and Captain James Lawrence, the USS Chesapeake. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I think he might be the guy that had a hand in burning the White House. Okay. Anyways, enough about that. There's another beautiful building on this street I want to show you. And I got to cross the street, so I got to do some jaywalking again to get over there. So I'm just going to wait, and we won't go yet. I don't want to walk all the way down the crosswalk and back up. So I'm going to do some jaywalking across here as soon as it's at all possible. Okay, let's go. This building right here is the residence of the Lieutenant Governor General. Lieutenant Governor, that's what it is, of Nova Scotia. Residence of the Lieutenant Governor of Nova Scotia. Right here. They've been doing some renovations to this for a while. So I have a feeling that he might have taken a temporary residence somewhere. But they do have a guard that's down there watching this place. They always do. They took down the buildings. They had a couple of those. You ever see the Queen's Palace on any videos? And they have those little buildings with the doorway and they stand in there if it's raining and they come out. So they had two of those there, but they're not there right now. So I think this building is getting work done. So anyway, it's a wonderful, we took a trip through that when they had the doors open night. And we walked all through that. Well, we didn't go all through it. We didn't go upstairs, but we walked all through the downstairs part of it. Okay, that's that. I got to keep moving. So I guess we'll take Bishop Street right here at the Lieutenant Governor House. I think they call it now. They renamed it to Government House. Yeah, Government House. It might not be the Lieutenant Governor's residence anymore. Let's see what this says right here. It says the Governor House, residence of the Lieutenant Governor of Nova Scotia. Yep, okay, I'm right. Okay, let's go down the hill and across Water Street and make it back to the ferry in time for me to go home, get the car, and pick up my son. Okay, I shouldn't have to pay a second fare though, because I got a transfer and it's good till 2 o'clock, so I'm good. I want to get back there and jump on the ferry and go home, grab the car, and head over to the other side of the city, to Fairview, because that's where he's working. So I got to get up to Fairview before 3 o'clock. So I hope you enjoyed my walk of Barrington Street, but don't give up. Don't turn off the video, because we're going to now walk up Water Street and see some stuff on the way up through there. All right? How long have I been at this? 34 minutes. So my goal is to try to get up there within an hour. I would say that would be about right for me to make it back across the harbor and get home. I didn't want to bring the car over, because then you got to pay for parking, and then you got to find somewhere to park it and by the hour here through the week, I think, and so I didn't want to do that. Anytime I go to the city, I like to leave the car home, just come over here. But today I'm on a tight schedule today. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk up Hollis Street. I think it's Hollis. We'll walk up it part way, and then we'll walk Water Street the rest of the way up to the ferry. Okay, that's okay. So there's the back of that tall building that they're working on, which I don't know what they call that building now. It's an office tower, I guess, as far as I can tell. Yeah, it was, because we were in there once to get something we had to do when we first came here. I don't know if it was Medicare or something, I'm not sure, something we had to go in there for. There's a lot of truck traffic on the street because the container terminal is just down there where you see those cranes, and also there's a spot where they load grain that comes in off the ships. They load that down there as well and bring that up for farms and different things. And so a whole lot of truck traffic comes down here, and mostly containers, but not all. It's non-stop truck traffic down through here. So if you thought the only tall buildings we have is on Barrington, no, we got tall buildings down here too. I gotta watch my step. I keep hitting a spot and there's nothing there but air, and I drop about 6 inches, and then my camera goes like that. So we'll try not to do that if I can help it. Well, are you enjoying this walk around here? It's been fun for me. I hope it's fun for you. And we're going to end up back at the ferry terminal, which I'll end my video there. And don't leave, because if you haven't seen me ending at the ferry terminal before, there's a surprise thing I want to show you down there. So if it's your first time seeing me go to the ferry terminal, don't turn off the video, because there's something pretty cool down there I want to show you. Right in front of the ferry terminal, okay? So, I'm going to go across the street. Okay, we are on Salter. This is Salter Street here, and this is Hollis Street, of course, across here. And Water Street is down there. So we are going to make our way down to Water Street, but we'll go a little ways on Hollis Street first. You don't want to miss all these trucks coming down through here with containers on them, do you? I used to do that. I brought trucks down here with containers. I did it myself, and I know how it all works down here, going into the terminal and all that. If you get down here in the night, they used to, they let you in, but you couldn't get unloaded, so they didn't unload anything till morning. So whether it's still like that, I don't know. But that's how it was when I used to come in here. I like to live in one of those condo towers like that. But I would imagine the rent is cost prohibitive, I would imagine. It's probably about 2,000, no more than that, probably about 2,500 to 35 a month to live in one of those. I know that because I've seen the prices on some others in this area. And they start at 2,500 and they end at about 35 per month. That's a lot of money to pay for a place to live. So it's out of my budget, so I don't think I'll ever be living in one of those. There's a lot of condos right here in this little area. You can see there's plenty of condos here. If you got the money, this is a beautiful place to live. Absolutely wonderful. And I think I read that Anne Murray lives down here somewhere in this area. She's retired from the music business and she moved to Halifax, and she's right down here on this, by Hollis Street area, in one of these condos. So I don't know which one, she's not going to tell us that, but anyways, if I did know, I wouldn't say, because I wouldn't want everybody knocking on her door. Can I have your autograph? No, you can't do that. You got to let people have their private lives when they move to your area. Even if they're famous, you just gotta. They deserve private lives as well. So we all enjoy having our privacy at times, and other times we enjoy. Don't need to be private all the time. So I think right about here, as soon as I can, I'm going to cross and go down to Water Street. I may have to wait, but I think I'm going to get a light. I see the light changing over there on that pole now, so should get a walk here in a minute. There we go. So we'll go down to Water Street and we'll walk up to the ferry terminal, and that will be my walk around today on this Monday morning in May. And next weekend is our long weekend. It's the 2-4 weekend. Imagine that already, huh? Beautiful weather. I hope it holds up for next. There won't be much to do, but at least it's the 2-4 weekend anyway. Monday's a holiday next Monday, so that'll be great. My wife will have an extra day home, and we might find something to do. If we really try hard, probably find something. Okay, this is just a small street, Bedford Row. It doesn't really go too far. It's not that important. We'll go right on through to Water Street. There's a barber shop called The Big Mustache. I've never been in it, but the pictures look like they do a good job. Well, we get back down to the ferry and call it a day. Call it a day for videoing. Then I got other things to do. Put the cameras away and gimbal and all that stuff, and we got other things to tend to. So, all right, here we are, Water Street, and right in there is where you walk in to get onto the boardwalk area and the harbor front and all that stuff. It's right in behind all these buildings. That's one of the ways to walk in. This is a beautiful street right here. They got a lot of old looking kind of British style buildings. Excuse me, my sinuses are running down my throat there and gagging me. You didn't know that, did you? No, I didn't think so. I see someone else making a video across the street there. Look at that. Yeah. Maybe just a camera holding their phone up, probably. I want to meet some of my fellow YouTubers walking around here. I haven't yet. Here's a mural for you. You like that one? I told you Halifax is full of murals. They're all over the place. that right there is the Maritime Museum of Atlantic. That is well worth going through. We took a trip through there the first year we were here, before the pandemic. And it's a lot of nice stuff in there, well worth the trip. But I doubt if it's open now because the pandemic got everything locked down, so you'll have to wait. Here's a few things that are down here. Look at this place. The old stone wall and the bricks in here, the way they're laid. Isn't that something? And that tree is beautiful. So I can imagine this was a restaurant, and you sat in there. That was called the backyard, and there's tables up there because the menu is still here. It'll be opening back up again once this pandemic is over. So there's your lunch. Tells you all your menus and things right there and the prices. Some things aren't that bad. You'd expect them to be high, but some things are. Haddock and shrimp, $25.99. That's not bad. I had fish over at the Palladium, and that runs about $22 for a slice of halibut, I think it was. So that's about right. That's good. I give the Palladium a little plug whenever I can. We've been there 3 or 4 times, and it's an absolutely wonderful restaurant. And the food is always A1, top-notch food in the Palladium restaurant. If you want to know where that is, that's on Portland Street, going up towards Cold Harbor. You're pretty much almost at the Cold Harbor when you see the Palladium restaurant on your right there. And it's a Palladium family restaurant. And they got absolutely wonderful food there. So, and the waitresses are nice there. They're right there. As soon as you walk in, they're coming to your table and they look right after you. So no complaints at all there. And this is a brand new building that wasn't here. Well, it's been here in a construction form for a couple of years because it's very large. It goes back a long ways. It takes up almost a block here, I would say. It goes up to there, and it goes down there to the end. And it's taller than it looks. It's got a lot of floors. Because of the glass tipping over, it looks like that's the height, but no, it's a lot taller than that. So there's a lot of buildings in there. My wife, that's her last delivery, or her pickup when she's doing her job as a courier driver. This is her last pickup before she heads across the harbor to the yard. So sometimes I met her down here and hung out a little bit, had coffee. So you can see Tim Hortons ahead, and just in back of Tim Hortons is the ferry terminal, and that's where I'm going to show you, that's where I'm going to show you something in case you haven't seen it yet, okay? There's I call it a Spanish restaurant. I think they come from South America probably, that own that restaurant. They're Spanish speaking. It's called the Los Toros, and they got an interesting statue out in front of that restaurant. So I'm not going to tell you what it is if you haven't seen it. I want to surprise you when I get down here. All right. So just before I get to the ferry terminal, you'll see this creature. No, it's not a person. It's something else. I'll give you a hint. It's something with horns on it. Okay, that's all I can reveal until we get there. Oh, the suspense must be killing you. I can hardly hold it in, but I'm going to try my best not to reveal this until we get down here. I want you to stay with me until the very end of this video. So this is how I'm going to manage that. I'm going to not reveal what this is down here until we get there. In fact, I see it right now, but I'm not going to point my phone at it because I want to surprise you with it. Okay, so there's the harbor across there. I live almost across there. I'll look right straight across the harbor. That's about where I live. So, anyways, I'm almost to this creature, and I'm going to show it to you now. There it is. That's a bull, and you know, the Spanish do a fair bit of bullfighting, and so I guess that's why the bull. He's quite big. I'd say it's about 9 or 10 feet long, probably. Yeah, he's good size. Want to see his head? Now I'm going to come around this side and try to get a picture of it if I can. Okay, there it is, the Los Toros bull. And now I got to come over here and get my camera turned off and put away because I have to put this stuff back in my bag, my backpack that I'm carrying around so I don't get broken. And then put my phone in my pocket, and then we'll go inside, take the ferry across, and hurry home and grab the car. All right, here we are, right down the water. I'll just shine around. That's all part of the boardwalk stuff over there. And when that building is completed, you're gonna walk right through the building down there, and there's something else interesting being built. There's a set of stairs you can walk down, and you wade right down into the water on those stairs. So, anyways, I'm taking my backpack off now, setting it right there while I do my little job here. I'm going to sign off. I never leave you hanging high and dry. I always sign off like a gentleman would do. So, anyways, on that note, here we are at the ferry terminal, and we've covered a lot today, and now I got to hurry home. So, you have a wonderful day, and if you're not a subscriber yet, you should become a subscriber because that way you'll get all my videos, and hit that notification bell and your phone will just go ding every time I post a video. And you will never be left out in the dark again. You'll always have a video to entertain you because I try to get a minimum of 3 a week out, and that's a lot considering a retired person has a full day. That was meant to be funny. A retired person is so busy, we can only manage 3 videos a week. Okay, you might laugh at that, but I am busy a lot. So, anyways, okay, on that note, bye for now. Chat with you later. It's been a slice.